Good morning, Swirly Nation. And welcome back to the International Silver Sticks competition here in Port Huron, Michigan for Game 2 of the Silver Sticks between the Toronto. I'm off to a good start. The Toronto Junior Canadiens and your Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back here to Glacier Ice Arena. We're on the opposite side this time, the flip side, as we bring you this pool play matchup between the Junior Canadiens and the Pens Elite. The Pens Elite come in 0-1 on the weekend. The Junior Canadiens 1-0. The Canadiens are going right to left on your TV screen as they fire it in behind the Penguins defense. Tracking it to the corners off their hide. Starting lineup for your Penguins. In net number 1, William Hanner. On defense, 34, Rylan Ofterhide, 90, Tino Villela. Up front, number 20 at wing, Cruz Armstrong, and number 14, Dylan Hartman. And your center iceman, number 24, Brady Paris. The twinkling lights. As the Canadiens work the breakout on the far side, that's cut off well by Villela. Two players collide in front of the scorer's bench as the Canadiens force it deeper into the Penguins' end. Canadiens going right to left on your TV screen are in the red, the Le Bleu, Blanc, and Rouge of the Montreal Canadiens, looking much like their namesakes, despite being from Toronto. The Penguins in gold. Second straight game in gold. The gold jerseys with the Penguin logo on the chest. The black pants with gold stripes and the gold socks with black stripes. As it's worked back to the point for a heavy shot that deflects in, and Hanner able to kick out the first shot by Toronto. Penguins about a minute 30 into that first shift end up icing the puck, trying to get a stop and play and a line change. Able to get both of those. So the Penguins falling in a tough one yesterday, 6-2 to Brantford. Looking to snap back here against the Toronto Junior Canadiens. Face-off won by Wu. Snapped into the corner for Brody Carter, who gets deep but has it roll up off of his stick. Toronto will take control and carry it all the way out to center, where the Penguins forecheck. Shub forces it further into the Toronto end. To the outside for a breakout. Picked off by Julius. Played back to Shub. Shub will go high off the glass, looking at an indirect for Wu that's picked up by the Junior Canadiens. They'll weave through center, bodied by Merlot, coming back and laying a shoulder into the Penguin defenseman. Was a Toronto, I'm going to say Montreal about 35 times. It is early. 5:15 wake-up call with the, I had the scaries all night. I woke up at like 3:10, 3:40, 4:10, 4:18, like thinking I missed the alarm. So, did get an early bed since all my friends went to bed last night. Freaking losers. It's worked in front. Carter Shub gets control. I'm full on chirping the rest of City TV for being in bed at like 9:02. They went to bed 37 hours ago. Luckily, cameraman Chris Merlot will be well rested for the game today. I decided to stream some of the Yellowstone series I'm on. I moved on to 1932 last night. As the Penguins work it out, Evans indirect, looking for real with speed. Can he catch up to the puck? A good job by the Canadian defenseman to cut the Penguins forward off. As they Canadians work the near side breakout, it comes off of a skate right to Jake Starr. Starr up to the Canadian line. They'll twist with it at the line, and Starr's there at center to pick it off again. He'll fire it into the corner. Evans and Filiaggi get to the forecheck. Filiaggi forces it around. The Canadians able to break things out, but they miss that half wall, and Starr with it again. Starr, looks like that puck is attracted to him today. as Evans gets in on the forecheck. His pressure frees up a turnover for Ofterheid, who goes back around behind to Evans, who spins it out in front. It's knocked off of his stick to the corner. Opposite corner where Evans will use body to get control, knock down on the play. The referees keep their hands in their pockets. Or Bob Starr thought they had him somewhere else yesterday, but I believe it's in their pockets. It'll be up the wing for Real. Back to Ofty. Rolling puck at center picked up by Real as we're inside of moving down to the 11-minute mark to play here. Is tripped up is Villela, and they're gonna, hey, they pulled him out. There it is, arm raised, and the Penguins head to the power play on a trip. We got, it looks like 35,000 of you joining us live right now. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Hit the subscribe button. Also, find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. As well as, of course, citytv.com. The third most visited site yesterday in the country, right behind Google and Facebook, was citytv.com. So we thank all of you guys for that. As the Penguins try to set up the power play here. Wedged up the wall off the skate of Hartman to Armstrong, who fires it back to Villela. And the Penguins gain the zone with a dump in. Pressuring it, Paris. Twisting in behind the cage is a Canadian defenseman, but the pressure by the Pens forces a turnover. Paris back to Armstrong, over for Villela. Shot comes in, backside feed, Armstrong just couldn't get the stick to it. They'll battle along the wall, and the Canadiens will force it out to center. 30 seconds into the man advantage. Merlot all the way up for Armstrong, and it's icing. He couldn't get the stick to it. 50 seconds remain on the man advantage. 10:23 here in period number 1, and we'll have a defensive zone draw to the right of Hanner. I want to welcome everybody here, Cine TV live from Silver Sticks in Port Huron. Penguins with the power play, a tie game at 0 against Canada's #1 team right now. Here's Wu darting through center. In on an onside play. Great puck possession. Draws 2 defenders. Finds Merlot. Cross ice. Here's Julius with a shot down low. Deflects in front. Rebound. Sits there. Wu with a backhand and a better save. He just didn't get quite enough on it. And absolutely crunched at the side of the net was Carter Schub. .30 seconds left with the man advantage. Great scoring chance there for Austin Wu on the back door. Better save. Wu to the point. Merlot controls. Wu just drawing defenders to him. Playing great right now. And distributing after. Here's Carter on the half wall. Up for Wu. Wu with a heavy shot. That goes off the goaltender and into the netting up above. Penguins will change lines here. Starr and Kaminsky up top. Evans, Real, and Filiaggi down low. Watch it. Evans and Real have switched sides here for the draw. Look for Luca to try to win it back to Real. Actually, Toronto's able to win the draw, but the Penguins possess nonetheless. Starr goes down the wall to Filiaggi up top for Starr. Cross ice feed for Evans. Bouncing puck. He sends it in front. It comes right back to him. Goes to the point for a blast from Starr. That goes just wide. Filiaggi to it in the corner. He's pinned against the wall. Real comes over in support. Now Evans on the back pressure as the Canadiens are back to 5-on-5 here. Penguins with a good power play, and Toronto will leave it right on the line in an offside play. Good call by the official on that one. So the Penguins unable to score on their first power play, but had a number of chances, including that backside backhander by Wu. Just a better save. As Toronto controls the draw. They'll gain the Penguins line, defended by Starr. Starr along the boards, leaving it for Filiaggi. Filiaggi up to the middle. He's looking for Evans. Found Real. Real finds Evans. Evans is in. And a great glove save by the goaltender. Good puck movement from 10, 43, and 11 there. 43 get freed up for the had about a half a step and a great scoring chance. As Filiaggi's back to it. He'll tap it out to Evans. Evans all the way across, right to the tape of Reel, and he's in. He's got Filiaggi driving the net. Reel will go and he'll find the blocker. Evans forces it back in front and just trickles wide. Ofterheide tries for Reel. It'll be picked off, and back comes Toronto. They'll try to regroup in their own end now. D-to-D play. Evans on the forecheck, and it forces an ice here. And a great shift there. Good power play, and it followed it up with another great shift by the Penguins. They'll have an offensive zone draw here. Reel with the scoring chance. Evans with the scoring chance. Good breakouts by that unit. As it's forced to the corner, Hartman working in front for Paris, and it's just deflected wide. He got the stick to it, but at the same time as a Toronto stick. And a bouncing puck picked up by Paris. Up for Armstrong, who's buzzing through center. Goes between the defenders and forced wide, but supported well by the Penguins. In front, buried on the play in front, Hartman. Knocked down behind is Armstrong, but the Penguins continue to battle. Rimmed around and kept at the point by Villela. He'll go to the corner for Hartman. Good to see him in the game today. He went out at the end of last game, was aided off the ice, but appears to be good to go. As Julius crashes down the boards. Swiped away from him, but kept at the point by Paris, who tries to loft it deeper. It's intercepted, and back comes Toronto. Penguins with an excellent mid-first period here as a Toronto player falls on top of the puck. Penguins will dig it out along the boards. Bouncing puck to the point, blockered away by Hanner. He has not seen much action thus far, and it's a cold rink. The Canadian goaltender has been under siege at times. Toronto carries in, left at the point. They'll rim it around behind. Working down low. Knocked down on the play was a Canadian behind the net by Merlot. He'll come away with the puck, getting it to Wu. Up to Carter. Carter with another great delay. Didn't just fire it. It would have been picked off. Came up, took the space up the wing, and the Penguins are into the Toronto end. A rolling puck comes off the stick of Wu to the corner before it's rimmed around by the Canadians to be kept on the half wall by Kaminsky. He'll fire it into the corner. Canadians will toss it behind the net to work the breakout to the far side. That breakout disrupted by the disruptor, Carter Schub. A cross ice feed picked off again by Starr. He's been a dynamo in the neutral zone. Penguins playing good, quality, aggressive hockey here. This is one of the best games they've played against probably one of the top teams that they've played. As it's tossed around, kept at the point by Toronto and tossed behind. Here comes Kaminsky. Happy Friday, everybody, as you join us from around the globe here on Cine TV for Game 2 of the Silver Sticks between the Pens Elite and the Toronto Junior Canadiens. The Penguins have had the better of play thus far as Filiaggi weaves in, sends it backside. Evans shoots one wide. Chop that. Here's Reel in the corner, pulling it out front. There's Evans backside and a kick save and a beauty. And then he sends this rebound wide to the net. This goaltender has been dynamite. As Reel comes in, he's got Evans crashing. He'll cut to the middle, getting to a high scoring area. Unable to get the shot through, and back comes Toronto. Penguins need to get one here. They've had multiple chances. This goaltender has been stellar as Reel comes away with it. He'll drive the left wing side. Around a defender in front. There's Filiaggi chopping on it, and it goes in. Reel to Filiaggi in front, and the Penguins do as I've asked. They get that first goal. Multiple chances, and they get one by. It's Filiaggi in front of the net, able to chip it past. I think he went blocker side on that. An excellent play. Reel drove wide, got the puck into that area in front of the net. Filiaggi with great body position, able to get the twig to it and put the puck by. Toronto forces it back into the Penguins' end. Penguins leading the Canadiens 1-0 here in the first. As the Canadiens step in, firing one. There's Hanner with a big stop. This all-important shift after a goal. We talk about it a lot. Here we are with it. And it's right now a great answer by the Canadiens as a rolling puck misses a stick, and the Penguins are able to clear. Armstrong pressures at center. Canadiens will gain the zone in front of the Penguins bench. Forcing one towards the middle. Shot comes in, and they sneak one by Hanner. Chopping at it. Hanner thought he had it covered, but the Canadiens, right after the Penguins score, have evened this one at 1. Or if you look at the scoreboard here, it's still 0-0. Not your scoreboard, because producer Paris has it up to date. Well, now it's 1-0 on the scoreboard here. And they've gotten it, 1-1. Kaminski will go up the wall, firing it in his Shub. Battle behind, here's Wu. Able to come out with the puck in the corner. Austin Wu tries to force it to the middle to Carter. Supported well by Shub, but the puck carried out by Toronto to the half wall. Shot down low off the stick of Shub to the area behind the cage. Wu on the forecheck. Toronto will try the near side. Kaminski cuts it off and sends it in on an offside play. Face-off will come out to center. Cine TV action here live from Silver Sticks. Canadiens control the draw. Working it up through center. Back pressure by Wu, forces it for Starr. Starr up for Shub. Shub has it taken away, but the Penguins are right there on the forecheck, forcing the Canadiens further into their own end. Excellent game thus far with about 3.5 to play in the first. Toronto working it up through the neutral zone. The Penguins doing a good job to disrupt. It'll come to Starr, who swipes it back out to center and forces Toronto all the way back to their line again. Puck forced deep into the Penguins' end. Toronto looking for a change. Kaminski reversing to Starr. He'll go up the wall, bouncing puck, eludes Evans. Here comes Toronto, back to the Penguins line. Dumping it behind, and it'll come out in front. A weird bounce off the boards behind the net. Went right out in front. Hanner went back to play it, and it came weird off the wall right to a Canadian in front of the cage. And a bad bounce goal there. So a little bit of puck luck for Toronto. As Hanner went out to play it, he was trying to set it up for the defenseman, and it just came off the wall and literally shot into the crease where there was a wide-open Canadian player to tap it in. So the Penguins have controlled play throughout this, for the most part, throughout this game. But Toronto has struck twice here in quick succession to make it a 2-1 contest. The Pens need to stay with what they're doing. Be aggressive, work the forecheck, disrupt Toronto, and fly up the ice like they are right now. Real coming up the right. Here's Villela at the line. Up for Real, he'll dump it in. It'll go off of Evans, so the Penguins will regroup. Real drives right down the line, cuts into the middle. Dipsing, doodle, and shoots one cross grain and just misses. Evans finds Real in behind. Little give and go. Out for Evans. Carries behind the net. Centering feed right at the side of the cage for Filiaggi, and it was just tipped by a Canadian at the last second. Back comes Toronto into the Penguins' end. A stick-on puck deflection by Evans is rimmed around to the half wall. Canadians will battle there. They'll be off their hide in the corner. Relieving pressure. Nice rim around for Villela, who hits Filiaggi. He goes high to Evans, taps it out of the air, and Real will dump it in. Penguins will get a line change. 90 seconds left here in the first. As Paris is up on the forecheck, it forces a turnover and just comes off the stick of Armstrong. Back comes Toronto. through Merlot, weaving in. Hanner there to say no siree. Battle in behind, dislodged up the wall by Merlot. Hartman follows on. Now Merlot up, looking for Hartman. Bouncing puck comes to the middle, and Armstrong's able to clear. Carrying to the right, he'll dump it in behind. In after it, Paris. Toronto gets there first. They'll try the right side. They'll find Hartman. Bounces off of him right back to the Toronto defenseman. Out the center where Julius takes the puck away. He tried to put it back into the middle, but it eludes the Penguin sticks, and the Toronto Junior Canadiens will reset things up there. They'll dump it behind Merlot. Merlot will rim it around looking for Hartman. He ties the player up, but there's the support by Toronto coming down the wall. Into the corner for the Canadiens. Merlot swipes it away like a pickpocket there. Able to fire it up off the stick of Hartman all the way to the Toronto end, where Hartman's pressure forces the turnover to Armstrong. He's at the line. He'll force it all the way into the corner. Toronto looking to regroup there. As Kaminsky pressures and keeps it in at the point. Keeps driving deep. A bouncing puck comes out the center. Shuby there to get control. And we will get the horn to end the first period. A back and forth first period that is really, in my opinion, seen the Penguins really outplaying Toronto at this point in time. And I guess we're going to cut the ice at the end of the first period now. This is weird. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome back for second period action. First period intermission, probably not popcorn this time, but everybody got to go get a cheese Danish, maybe a hot cup of coffee. And we're going to come back to action here from Silver Sticks. The Canadiens leading 2-1 in this one. A couple of bounces. Frankly, the Penguins have been excellent thus far in this game. The Canadian netminder coming up massively so far in this one. So the Penguins are going to look to continue what they're doing and chip away at this 1-goal lead. Excellent first period by the Penguins. We'll see how they do at intermission, coming back out. Players getting a little bit of a warm-up in here, getting some skating going on. The goaltender's kind of weird. You got Hanner at one end, surrounded by Canadians. You have the Canadian goalie at the other end, surrounded by Penguins. You see a couple of them looking to go in and like tap the pads, realizing it's not their goalie. Penguins are gathering around head coach Jeff Hannon. He's flanked this weekend by assistant coach Chris Schub. Missing the good doctor this weekend. He's out there yanking digits, or yanking teeth, not digits, not fingers. He doesn't pull fingers, he pulls teeth. If you pull fingers, that's a different one. That's my dad's old joke. Here, pull this. Then the room clears, as the Canadiens will control the opening faceoff of period number 2. Switch sides. They're going to go. The Penguins this time are going to go from the right to left. And Toronto works it deep in the Penguin end. Coming away with it is Starr. He's been all over the puck today. Up for Wu. Wu bodied off the puck. Sent back out. Starr unable to get control, but Kaminsky will inside the Penguins' blue line. A rolling puck just comes off of his stick. In behind Kaminsky will battle as the Canadiens try to pin the Penguins in. The Toronto Junior Canadiens and your Pens lead as they'll put in an offside play here at the Canadian blue line. On both sides of the facility have started at 7 o'clock. The tournament runs ice cuts during play. So they'll cut the ice in between either the first or the second period and then not in between games. So the next game starts immediately after ours. But the reason they stagger the ice cut, one side will do first period, the other side will do second. There's only one Zamboni. So that makes sense to those of you in the rink management biz. As Villela has it behind her feet out in front, is shot by, and the Canadians strike early here in the second. A play out of the corner, body position on Villela in the corner, centering pass to the backside. And the Canadians strike early to make it a 2-goal lead. The Penguins have to keep their heads about them.
Go, boys. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay in it. Little things. Do the work.
Filiaggi to take the face-off. Controlled by Toronto. Villela has it roll off of his stick into the corner for Ofterhide. Ofterhide up to Evans. Evans all the way across the ice. Hits Reel. Saucy. Reel in. Forehand back in. And he finds the back of the cage. Evans to Reel. And that important shift after a goal. And this time it's the Penguins striking. Evans with a cross ice feed, a beautiful breakout pass deep from Ofterhide. He found Evans on the half wall, and Evans fires the sauce across. Jack Reel gets a step, and when Jack Reel has a step, that's not good for Jack, the real deal Jack Reel. As Evans is in front, the puck is in the net. Come on! The puck in the net, Evans in the net, and the referees say no goal. Oh. Penguins thought they had this one tied. Evans was forced in. Looking at the replay, Evans was shoved into the net. That goal should have counted. As Real regains the zone. Fires it in front. Evans there. Backside. There's Filiaggi with a heavy shot. And he takes a cross check for it. Jack Real setting that play up heavy down the wing again, centering one. This time Evans was deeper. He fired it right behind him with a nice drop pass to Filiaggi for another scoring chance. Canadiens control. So Montreal gets back to a 2-goal lead. So the Penguins thought they had it tied. Puck in the net. Referee waves it off. And Montreal comes right back up the right side. A 2-on-1. The shot beating hander to the blocker side. And the Canadiens are back through center. A game that the Penguins have really played well. The score not indicative of the play so far in this one. Penguins got to keep digging. They've done it so far. There was no quit. There was no quit yesterday in a game that didn't go their way. I don't think there'll be any in this one as they work all the way to the corner. Battling to get it up the wall is Merlot. It'll come free to the point. Shot in, blocked by the rubber man. Up ice, here comes Armstrong. Armstrong weaving into the middle. Wines fires one and finds Leather going down on the play. The goaltender able to snap it up over. And make this save. It'll be Wu now to take the draw. To the corner. The Canadiens control. Haynes good on the faceoffs here. We saw the same from Brantford yesterday, controlling a number of draws. That's Kaminsky pressured from behind. Had that player in behind the Pens defenseman. As Toronto drives into the corner, it'll be rimmed around. Half wall for Toronto. Great pressure by Shub, gets control, chips it by, and unable to catch up to it. Toronto will regain possession. Great play there by Carter Shub. As the Carter twins team up here. Starr will force it up the wall looking for Brody Carter. Up for Wu. Wu with a nice move to the middle. Carrying the puck, just has it roll off. Right there's Carter with the pressure. Can the Pens turn it back over? It'll be Wu on the back pressure. Rolling puck at center. Ultimately controlled by the Bleu Blanc Rouge for a heavy slap shot. Stick on puck deflection. Bouncing puck picked up by Carter and forced back out to center. Play rimmed around by Montreal or Toronto. And they'll regain possession. Sent all the way up. That was the wang to wang there for Toronto. Wonder if they're brothers. Maybe twins. Offside was the call, so it'll be 10:44 to play in the second. Pens will have a draw outside of their blue line. Controlled by, no. Dumped in behind the net of Hanner, picked up by Ofterheide. Ofterheide up the wall for Real. Real bouncing it off the boards, trying twice to get it to himself. Just picked off by Toronto. Evans will get it and retreat in behind the Penguins net. Knocked off of his stick, coming out in front. Evans takes it back, forcing it up ice. Here's Real. Real with speed. Evans center drive. Filiaggi to the high slot as Real pulls up. He'll go to the corner for Filiaggi. Filiaggi pressured, battle there, and Montreal starts a breakout. 3-on-3 as they come through center. Filiaggi with the back pressure, making it 3-on-4. Bouncing puck, frees up in front. Played by Ofterheide. As the Penguins battle in their own end. Puck comes free. Here's Filiaggi to Real. Real will gain the line, dumping it in. Penguins will finish their line change. Hartman tracking it in behind. He comes up to that kid's waist. Armstrong now on the forecheck, forcing the turnover out in front. Pulls it around one, forces it towards the cage. Just couldn't get it through. It's blocked. Good forecheck pressure, Hartman and Armstrong, as down falls a Canadian. Now Hartman and Parrish battle along the wall. It's wedged to the Penguins line and carried in by Toronto. To the corner, tossed up the wall. Here's Hartman. Hartman looks cross ice, has it batted out of the air. That looked like Lidstrom on that one. As Armstrong right back on the forecheck. Supported well by Paris. Forces the turnover to Julius, and Paris will turn with it into the offensive zone. Crisscrossing to the middle. Winding, firing, putting one in on net that's into the paraphernalia and held. Penguins with a heavy shot there from Paris. Penguins will get a change here. It'll be Wu, Schub, and Carter. Bouncing puck picked up by Toronto. It's snapped past Starr. Kaminski comes across to defend. Starr picks up the guy going backside. A high short side shot misses the cage. Rimmed around. The Penguins can't get it to break out, but Starr will loft it all the way to center. Another good play there by the Penguins defenseman. A D-to-D pass as Toronto controls in their own end. That play picked off, standing him up on the play. Schub gets hammered. Delayed penalty as they put it in front. It's tapped by Toronto. They'll call that possession, and the body check call comes against the Toronto Junior Canadiens. Lighting up Carter Schub a bit there. He goes off, seems to be okay. Penguins will head to the man advantage, trailing by a pair. Filiaggi, Evans, Reel, Villela, and Ofterhide, the 5 Penguins to start the power play. Face-off won by Filiaggi cleanly to Ofterhide. Ofterhide to Villela. Villela down deep for Reel. He'll cut to the middle as Filiaggi controls. Filiaggi tossing it all the way around to Reel. Reel will carry it in behind. Heavy off the wall for Evans. Evans back pressured and has it taken away, but Ofterhide able to keep it. He'll go deep for Reel. Reversed by Toronto. Up past Evans, and they'll break the driving in, winding, firing stick. But the Penguins stay right with the pressure as Filiaggi unable to, just has it taken away. It's lofted out the center by Toronto. Up for Filiaggi, tap pass to Reel. Reel with a half step. Can he get free? Forcing it in on net underneath the glove. I think it was sitting just free, but the referee gets the whistle, and the Penguins get a line change. Still 12 seconds left with the man advantage. Good zone time there, not a lot of chances. As the Penguins win another draw cleanly, this one to Starr. Wu that time with the clean draw. Possessing these power play draws, huge for the Penguins. Starr keeping it at the point again. Carter has it knocked away. And coming out of the box was a Toronto player, but Jake Starr again, this time again in the neutral zone with just a phenomenal read, picked off the pass. Now he battles in his own end, trying to clear. It'll be Toronto working it deep, shooting glove side, off the glove of Hanner, rebound as it's wrapped around and kicked out by William. Up the wall, a pass across by Schub. He drew the Penguins power play. This time he was looking for Carter. It'll be left up for Wu. Wu, good job regrouping. He goes back to Starr, over to Kaminski. Kaminski will dump it in. Schub gets in after. There's that weird bounce. The Penguins almost take advantage there. As it came in front, Schub just couldn't get heavy wood on it, or composite now. As Paris behind, looking. He'll go off the boards looking for Julius. It just didn't really bounce off the boards in front of the Penguins bench. It looked like the right angle. Just didn't kind of come off there. And it flies all the way back into the Penguin end. Paris with it, spinning it up for Hartman at center. Twists it to the middle of the ice. Merlot defends as the Canadiens gain the Penguins end. a centering feed. Penguins couldn't quite get control there, so it'll be a battle in behind. Toronto possessing in the Penguins' end. We haven't seen a ton of this. As it comes around for Armstrong, he has it swiped away, but a bouncing puck comes right back to him. He'll find Hartman. Hartman stepped up on knocked down at the line. Good no call. Two players coming together there. Nobody really leaned into it as Armstrong up on the forecheck almost took it away. There's that Penguin forecheck freeing it up as Julius finds Paris. He'll dump it in. The Penguins will get a line change. Toronto in their own end. They'll try to fly it all the way up, but Penguins there to defend it. That's Villela taking it away. Over for Ofterhide. Ofterhide up for Filiaggi. Bouncing puck comes to Reel. Reel over to Evans. Bounces off his stick. He'll track it down. Centering pass right there to Filiaggi, whose shot's blocked. Good wood on that one by number 10. As a rolling puck comes into the Penguins' end. Here's Filiaggi with it. Leaving it for Villela. Nice play. Villela taking the space, finding Reel. A rolling puck comes off his stick. Evans slashing across the ice. He'll get there. Freeing it up to the corner. Winning a battle there. He'll go up top to the point. Here's the heavy shot from Star. Rebound there! And it's Evans winning a battle in the corner. Finding Starzy at the point. His shot down low comes off the goalie right to the stick of Jack Reel, and the Penguins have made it 4-3 here. It's Silver Sticks. The real deal. Jack Reel tucks it in, snug as a bug in a rug. As Toronto tries to come back, we've seen it multiple times. Goals on this next shift. Penguins would like to get one to tie it up. Toronto would like to get one to reestablish the lead. This time they'll toss it in on an offside play. A good, that they practice that. A good hard shot from Star from the point was down low where the Penguins could make a play on it. As Evans puts one in front for Filiaggi. Defended well by Toronto, but Filiaggi stays right with it and forces the puck in behind the Toronto's net. Reel on the forecheck. Filiaggi now. Evans, as they come in waves, it'll be Evans forcing the turnover. Rolling puck picked up by Evans. Off the wall for Reel. Bouncing puck chipped at by Toronto and sent back out to center. Star with it to Kaminsky. Kaminsky heavy off the wall. Those boards in front of the benches do not bounce much. That would have usually come about 4 more feet out in front as a centering pass is picked off by Evans, and he flies up through center. It's a potential 3-on-2. Evans finds Reel high slot, shot down low, puck there. Evans swats at it. Star with a heavy shot that just misses the cage. Back in front, deflected by Filiaggi. Shot up to the point, Merlot. Over to Star. Star, backside for Reel. Bouncing puck, chopped at by Filiaggi. Spun towards the net by Reel. Evans will get to the rebound. Centering pass. Avoids everybody, but comes free to Merlot at the point. He'll fire it around behind for Reel. Reel fires one at the net. It comes off the side of the cage from behind. Evans in on the forecheck. Dislodges it. Oh, I thought Merlot was going to jump down there. Stays up high and he'll be in position to defend. Long shift there for that unit. They needed to get off. They do. Excellent shift there by that unit. They got a goal, and they got about 3 or 4 more chances. Austin Wu with it. Heavy off the boards. This time it does bounce free. These boards, you can tell, have been used, as sometimes the bounces come flying out like we saw against the Penguins in that weird dump in, and other times they just kind of die. Here's Wu up to center. Schub carries in on an onside play. Works it up high to the point. Heavy shot from Julius. Stick to the area behind. Wu picks it up, tries to wrap it around, and it stays out, and we get a whistle. Referee loses sight, blows the whistle as he is instructed to do, and the Penguins will have an offensive zone draw. One to the corner by Toronto. They'll play it behind the net. looking to break things out the far side. That breakout read well by Carter Schub and dumped back into the Toronto end. Pressure from Wu. As they rim it around, cross ice feed, knocked out of the air by Carter. Penguins coming in waves right now. As Toronto controls right, there's that Penguins forecheck to turn it back. They work it around. Villela keeps it at the point. Penguins are getting a line change here as this unit's been in the offensive zone the entire time. Penguins get a couple fresh bodies on as Toronto breaks out through center. Great back check by Armstrong. Frees it up for Villela jumping to the middle. He'll get up on the forecheck, the Penguins defenseman. Frees it up for Armstrong. Up to Carter. Carter lifts it all the way in. Paris will pressure as it goes to the corner. Forecheck in this one. Been the Penguins calling card. And here it is again as it forces an ice by Toronto. 23.5 seconds remain here in period 2. Paris, Hartman, Armstrong, Starr, and Kaminsky. Starr with a huge assist on that last Penguins goal to make it a 1-goal game. He has been dynamite out here today. Armstrong, heavy on the forecheck again. Toronto has to regroup in their own end as time will expire here in the second. The boys in gold should be exceptionally proud of the game that they are playing thus far. I know they trail by a goal, but they have carried play thus far. Obviously, Toronto, a phenomenal team, has had plenty of chances, and you can tell, I mean, they've got 4 goals. I think the Penguins have absolutely answered the call and been battling up and down the ice. The forecheck pressure, forcing turnovers, regroups in the Penguins' end, good breakouts. They've been able to limit chances, good breakouts to get the puck out. Not a lot of puck time possessed in the Penguins' end. So we're going to see an exciting third period here, I believe, from the International Silver Sticks in Port Huron, Michigan, about an hour north of Detroit. Quite frankly, a beautiful area, right down along a river, across the river, Sarnia. Home of the Sarnia Sting in Canada. Just a really beautiful area. And we've had the ability to kind of get around town a little bit with one game yesterday. Exciting game from Silver Sticks. Remember to join us for all the Penguins Elite games here, the 10s and 11s. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, hit the subscribe button below. If you can hear me now, hit the subscribe button. If you're not sure, log into your Google account, your Gmail account, right? That's also your YouTube account. So if you log into that, you'll be able to subscribe to our channel, and we appreciate it. It's what we ask. You enjoy us here on Cine TV, which so many people come to us and tell us how much they enjoy it. We want to thank cameraman Chris Merlot, producer Nick Paris. We've got the play-by-play here today. We're missing color commentator Colby Armstrong. He's got duties as the Penguins struggling on a 6-game L streak, losing last night to Las Vegas. Out comes Armstrong. There's that zone exit we've seen from the Penguins so often. It's turned back, but the Penguins regroup. Now Merlot off the boards. He was looking for Hartman. They'll battle along the boards. Here's Paris at the Penguin line. Carrying all the way to center where he's able to dump it in. The Penguins will get a line change. Good 55-second of fury there by the Penguins. And now they're in on the forecheck. Evans freeing it up. Heavy shot from Filiaggi just wide. Reel to the puck. Sending it all the way through. Here's Merlot at the point. He'll go down low. Evans has it ramp up off of his stick to the corner. Reel in after it. Bouncing puck will come free to Merlot. Merlot over to Julius. Julius driving the right side. Onside, able to dump it in. Penguins forecheck will get at it. It's real. Filiaggi up front on the forecheck. They'll switch off to Evans, forcing it to the right. That pressure. Great job coming down by Filiaggi, getting it to Evans. Evans cross ice speed. Filiaggi crashing in. And a better, I believe, save there. If the puck, it might have gone wide. But Evans with a great feed to Filiaggi. Helmet comes off, not head. His head is still attached. His helmet comes off. It's exactly what you got to do with the man advantage. Shot comes in, deflects by Schub to the area behind. He'll rim it back around for Villela. Villela under pressure. Penguins again get there. Right now the Canadiens outnumber the Pens, but once the Penguins outnumber the Canadiens, they come away with it. Schub to the corner. Carter in support. Power play over as he darts out in front. He was looking for Wu. Has it knocked away to the point for Ofterheide. Penguins still back on the Canadiens with speed. Ofterheide defending. He's got Villela supporting. Back pressure by Carter. As weaving through come the Canadiens for a shot that goes just. He'll go off the boards. It's icing if it's far enough. I don't think it will be. It will not. Here's Armstrong playing takeaway. Canadiens control. They'll play it in behind their own net with speed coming through. A good job there. Penguins are having to regroup at center, and they will. They found a little bit of a seam, but Starr was able to force it to the corner. No battle there. Working along the wall. Toronto dislodges it and fires one wide to the cage. They'll go back to the corner. Kaminsky. Now pressure from Starr. Comes fresh body off the bench for Toronto and a heavy shot. Penguins pinned in their own end a bit here. Able to 10:03 to play. Penguins trail by one in what has been an exciting contest here. Able to win. Driving the left side. Toronto Junior Canadiens. Evans with the back pressure. Filiaggi. Filiaggi carrying on side. Now he'll find Real. Real, dark time, just kind of putting it into those danger areas and hoping for the Canadiens. Onside play, just forced behind the Penguins net. Starr there to battle. He's been all over the place in this one. Here's Schub spinning it over to Carter, and Carter carrying it back out to center. He'll jump there, in behind their own net, banking it off the boards. There's Armstrong on the pressure, unable to get control, and back comes Toronto. Out the center, around one. Here's Kaminsky defending. Off the wall, Starr. Starr couldn't quite get a handle on it, but it comes free to the middle where Paris is knocked down. Starr will get it with the boot this time. Again, Starr just all over the place in the offensive zone, deep way through the third. This one set outside of the Penguin zone. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here on Cine. With another game later today, 4 o'clock, they'll play Nickel City. They're playing on the other side right now. Last report on the out-of-town scoreboard, Nickel City 1, the Chicago Reapers 0. But that was in the first period. I'm sure they're in the third as well. As Armstrong has it knocked away at center. Toronto regroups in their own end. Snapping one up to the outside. Hartman on the pressure, able to free it up for Merlot. The Penguins' pressure has just been relentless in this. They trail by a goal. I feel like they've had the better of play thus far. They just need to solve this riddle one more time here to even the score. Toronto controlling in their own end. Penguins forecheck after it. Are they playing 4 corners already? I mean, out come the Canadiens here. Good stick by the Canadiens, keeping that play alive. Back, Filiaggi was down on the play, and it'll be a turnover. Back comes Toronto. Rolling puck comes free to Real. Real carry towards nobody there. Did a good job controlling it and then just kind of threw it off the wall as the Canadiens will control in their own end. We can see them just kind of taking their time on the zone exits. Here's pressure by Real. That's their answer to the Penguins' pressure, is to kind of retreat and slow things up a little bit. They'll see it again here as Filiaggi up on the forecheck. As they try the wall, Real picks that one off into the middle. Filiaggi in front, Evans just can't get the stick to it. Looked like he reached forward. It might have been in front of him. No ice on the play. Ofterheide back to get it. Around for Real. Real Bouncing puck. Wedged all the way into the Toronto zone for an ice.
Hey! Skate, don't reach, let's go. Keep your head. Move, get it out.
Wu on the faceoff. Rims it around for Carter. He's got Shub. He'll find him. Oh, just in front, it's icing. Just off on the angle there on the bounce bank pass. Wu to take the faceoff. Canadiens control. Good block shot there by Carter. Sends it behind the Penguins net. Back to the point. D-to-D play. Carter with the pressure. Shuby knocks it out of the air. Clean play. Carter will come up with it. Spinning at center. Gets control. Drives the right. Leaves it high for Shub. Shub back down low looking for Carter. Battle in the corner. Canadiens working around to the opposite side. Shub comes crashing in. Able to dislodge the puck. Loses his twig. He'll pick it back up in the corner as Toronto exits the zone on the near side. Nice tic-tac breakout pass and they'll dump it into the Penguins' end. Star, first one there. Great job using the body. Gains control, gets it to Wu. Wu, with some space, finds Carter. It goes off the back of his skate, right off his heel. As the Canadiens regain the Penguins' end. Penguins get a line change as they'll shoot it off the glove of Hanner, picked up by Star. Star cross ice to Armstrong. Catches it on the backhand. Turns to the forehand. Defended well and sent back inside the Penguin line. Kaminsky with it. He'll drive. Getting it to the line and deep. Penguins get to the forecheck. It'll be Armstrong on it. Canadiens reverse. Penguins need one here soon. Evans had that chance at the side of the net, just couldn't connect. And now we get an ice. 3:14 to play in the third. .3:14 to play, third period. Penguins trail by a goal. Looking to even things up, it'll be Paris at the faceoff. Hartman driving to the corner, forces that turnover right to Paris. Behind for Armstrong. Two players hit the deck there, it comes free to the corner. Paris up on the forecheck as Toronto sends it out. Phenomenal gap by both Penguin defenders there. Hartman knocked down on the play. He'll go off gingerly. Paris gets control. Now Armstrong. Armstrong with Evans. And he fires it into the offensive end. Evans will track it to the corner. Evans battling behind the net. It'll be up off the boards out the center for Villela. D-to-D for Ofterheide. Ofterheide up to Reel. Reel taps it between his legs. Nobody there, but Canadiens, they'll fire it back into the Penguins' end. Looking to make them go 200 feet here with 2 minutes to play. Villela dislodges it, rims it around. Filiaggi taps it up for Reel. Reel tries to spin it to the middle. Nice defensive play there, and it'll be an offside on Toronto. Let's go. Keep making plays, boys. Let's go. Filiaggi to take the draw. Ofterheide controls. Good win by Filiaggi. Goes D-to-D to Villela. He'll go back behind for Ofterheide as the Penguins will control the breakout here. Up for Reel. Reel across for Filiaggi. Crisscrossing with Evans. They'll stay on side at the line. Looking. Out in front. Comes in behind the cage. It'll be rimmed around by Toronto, but kept at the line by Villela. I think that's Filiaggi in the corner. Back to Villela. His shot. Blocked to the corner. Reel. First one there. Switching with Ofterheide. Maintains control. Backside for a one-timer by Filiaggi that screams to the crease. Comes free to Ofterheide. Off a body in front. Evans digging. Sends it in front. The shot pushed just wide. Here's Villela to it. Down low. Trying for Evans behind the cage. He'll disrupt, but Toronto able to clear it out. Penguins defense changing behind, and they kind of a odd change. The player coming on didn't let the player coming on the ice on. They got tied up at the line at the bench there. 1:11 to play. Defensive zone draw. One again by the Penguins. Up for Evans. Evans, saucy to reel. Can he break free? He's tied up on the play. Knocked down, and the Canadiens get control. Kaminsky crashing down the boards. Hanner staying in the cage. Now Hanner gets to the bench. Empty net. It'll be Wu joining the Penguins here. As the Canadiens control in their own end. Bouncing puck cut off by Kaminsky. In front for Filiaggi, and a shot from all the way down the ice finds the back of the net. Hammered from their own face-off dot. Will find the empty cage. The Penguins thought they had it tied with the puck in the net. The referees say no goal earlier. Penguins should hold their heads high after this one. As they, in my opinion, outplayed the Toronto Junior Canadiens here. They're not done. They're going to keep fighting, as they should. They trail by 2 with 30 seconds left. The Canadiens with it. Forced to the outside by Kaminsky. Shot comes in, kicked out by Hanner. He'll cover. 21.4 left. Face-off controlled to the wall. Breakout off of Schubel, diving to the ice, just giving everything he has. It'll free it up for Carter. Carter to the outside. Battles all the way to the half wall. Wu there. Puck comes free to center. What are we calling it? I don't know, Margot. I don't know what the call is here. I think offsides. It hit a glove on the bench. So 1.3 seconds left. The Penguins will fall in this one. They should hold their heads high. What a game. As the sound of the horn comes through, the Penguins fall 5-3 here in game 2. Join us at 4 o'clock here on City TV as we'll play Nickel City.